It's a time to go retro mode, so let's go. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video we are going to take a close look at this old school laptop, and yeah, this is really old school. I picked it up on a flea market for absolutely crazy amount of money, €3. The previous owner told me that they didn't really use this laptop a lot. She bought it for the son, but the son basically never used it or a couple of times. And to be honest, I do believe them. So in this video we are going to take a close look at this old school laptop. We're going to revisit some old school games and going to have a lot of fun. So this thing, I must say that I was surprised to see in what kind of condition it was. Everything is absolutely just in amazing condition. And it comes with some interesting specs, some old school specs. Here you can already see it, this thing comes with an Intel inside, a Pentium 3, around 900 MHz to be exactly. We have some Windows Microsoft 2000 Professional installed on this, but also haven't serial key for XP, so maybe in the future we're just going to do this random update video. But for now, let's see what we're going to get with this. What do we get for €3? Because this thing, yeah, it's cheap, and I was thinking if it doesn't work, whatever, you know, like maybe I can use for spare parts or try to fix it. But that's the question for today. Will this thing even boot up? But let's do a quick tour and let's boot up the device itself. But with a laptop of this age, yeah, we need to have the power supply because the batteries are most of the time completely dead or not working that great. But okay, so let's boot it up and let's see if the device is even working. Alright, so let's take a close look at the device itself. Seriously, like, it still runs on the original battery. It will give like the BIOS error, nothing to be worrying about. So let's press the F1 and let's continue. And let's see that what kind of software is basically installed on this machine. Is it Windows XP or 2000? That is the question. Unfortunate, the first attempt that we tried, nothing seems to be booting up. Alright, so let's see to give this thing a reboot and let's see if we can get this thing to work. Alright, let's turn it off. And let's reboot it again. Okay, here you can see like this thing comes with a mobile Pentium 3 processor, 933 MHz. Let's take a closer look into the setup just to see what happens over here. Okay, everything is messed up of course because of the time and date. It's still 1988, so oh man. Okay, primary master, there's only one drive in here and I think it's around 20 gigabytes. Over here we do have some video features, but there's nothing much that we can do over here. Let's see if the boot is still enabled. Boot time diagnostic screen. And basically we do have the option to turn this on. And let's take a close look in here. Nothing much, same yada yada yada. It comes with 256 megabytes of RAM. Like seriously, what the hell. Oh. Alright, let's see if we can boot up anything. Alright, yeah, I think I also need to clean the screen later on. That is something I need to do. And let's see if we can even boot up in Windows now. Alright, still give me the error. Press F1. And here we go. Let's see, and let's go. Windows will be booted up, and we do have Windows 2000 Professional. Okay, so let's take a close look at specifications list. So to begin with, this Pentium 3 can even be overclocked to 1.2 GHz. For back in the days, quite fast. So one came with 128 megabytes of RAM, but you can also get around 256 megabytes and even up of a maximum of 1 gigabyte. So unfortunately mine didn't come with a DVD drive or a CD-ROM drive, but there is an option out there. Maybe in the future I will pick it up from eBay or something if I want to, but for now it's not needed. Already noticed like we do have like USB ports in this thing, but this is 1.1, so man, that is really old school. So then mine came with a 20 gigabyte hard disk built in, but you can see there was even a 30 gigabyte model out there. But in the end, these are some old school specs because it's a really old school laptop. So it's been booted up, so let's take a close look and let's do a deep dive into the software itself. So for me, I'm really surprised that this thing just works out of the box for this freaking €3. People didn't really care about it and they're more like, you know what, let's make somebody happy, and in this case it was me. So when you're looking at it, like there were some pre-installed games, but I managed to install some games myself that we're going to play today. just to see for fun just how it will benchmark or play on this. Yeah, not really benchmarking, just to see how actually this old school Pentium 3 laptop can play some couple of games. Okay, well, let's see what we're going to get with the connections. At the front we're going to get ourselves 2 types jack, one for the headphone and the other one is for the microphone that you want to attach to it. At the front we're also going to get some extra keys over here. Here you have like navigation keys 1, 2, 3, 4 and enter. Basically these are like some extra media keys that you can configure inside the laptop. Like with all of the notebook or laptops back in the day, we do have like the right mouse click and the left mouse click over here and a very nice big touchpad that is very responsive. Okay, what I find quite interesting that the battery still holds on charge, so that's pretty damn cool. Here you can see like it not will hold us for a very long time. I think it was maximum maybe like 50 minutes. We do have the indicator over here for the hard drive, and that's basically what this thing does. Over here with like this tiny switch, basically when you press it or close the laptop itself, you can see it basically shuts down the display, if it works. Okay. Over here we're going to get ourselves the RJ45 Ethernet connection. This is the exhaust out. Then we have the option to expand. More basically, I think back in the day where you have like the expansion ports where you for extra things like Firewire. We do have this locking mechanism over here. Okay, so on the right side what are we going to get are the freaking compartment for the battery over here. And here we have like the floppy. So unfortunate, like I'm guessing the previous owner did own, let's say, the CD-ROM drive, and you can just basically push it and click it out. There's a mechanism that is very common back in the days, but unfortunate, yeah, we don't have the CD-ROM drive. Alright, so let's take a close look at the connections, and there are some really old school ones. Over here what you're going to get is the PS2 connection, I'm saying it correctly, this for the keyboard. Then we're going to get ourselves an old school serial port that we can use, for example for printers, I'm saying it correctly. VGA out. We even have the option for 2 USB ports, the old school ones, and we're going to use it for basically like adding some new files to this thing. And this was special connection port for the, let's say, docking station, and of course the input for the power supply that we're going to use, because this thing doesn't hold and charge for very long. Alright, so the next part is not really retro, or it is like an optical mouse that we're going to use. It's an old school Microsoft, it's the Comfort Optical Mouse 3000. And basically like this is not like real retro. Normally you'd have like this one with a ball inside or a very old one maybe from Logitech. But this is basically the oldest one I've laying around. So let's plug it in and let's mess around with the system and let's just play some freaking games. Alright, so let's install the mouse itself. Ah, Windows 2000, man, what a time it was. And let's see what we're going to get in the system. So I already pre-installed some games, and let's see, I think that was the one I needed to put over there. So yeah, there were some games installed on the machine and some games I basically installed myself. So the ones that we're going to try out are over here. The ones that we're going to play is some Red Alert 2, Cartoon Fighters from Mugen, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, or we're going to play the part of it, and Quake 3 and Doom 95, or Doom basically. Let's take a close look at these games, just see how they run on this old school laptop. Okay, we don't need a mouse with this one, but just for fun, let's play a little bit. We do have built-in speakers, so they're not super bad. But I'm missing the soundtrack. Let's make it ourselves. And then we're going to say the chicken version. And you die. Over there. Alright, so next up, let's play a little bit of single player. Time for some Quake 3 Arena. Bring it on. I think I can handle that. Oh man. So the loading time, let's see how fast it is. Like I can still remember my first, I think there was on 550 megahertz. Had quite a long loading time. The same like this. Yeah. It needs some time, but it's not extremely long. But it's kind of funny that this freaking laptop runs like Quake 3. Oh man. I'm not actually using a mouse mat, I'm using my freaking review pad to basically like use my mouse. That's not a very good option here. Alright, so let's... And I think I'm going to do some LAN parties. Like I have a couple of these old laptops and just connect them, invite some friends and just have some old school like Quake 3 matches. I don't know what it is with new generation games. I'm getting bored of these things like very quickly, but this old stuff, oh man. By the way, fun fact, like Quake 3 was basically the first game that I ever played on my Intel Pentium 550 MHz desktop PC back in the day. I think it was 2000, 1999 or 2000 or something like that. Ooh. But yeah, what a blast to the past. And I died. But I must say, like, it's getting really hot. I can feel the heat basically here underneath under the keyboard. So that is, what's in is not a good thing. It's just how it is because it's an old one, an old notebook. All right, so let's try another one. Let's play a little bit of a, let's grab Reddit Alert or something like that. Oh man, loading this thing up takes sometimes quite a long time. Not used to waiting for loading times. Oh man, this brings back so many memories. Like, it's so much fun. Let's make a match. Alright, need to get used to the keyboard again. Yeah, going easy, man. Otherwise I'm going to get destroyed by him. Alright, so you can choose the color. I need to be red. Oh yeah, I even have like the option to check out the game speed. How much money. You can say don't use super weapons. And just begin the match. Oh, the loading times, let's check that. Yeah, I can still remember like doing this on LAN function, and loading times were so different from, let's say, different PCs. Even like the fastest one had like the lowest, let's say, loading times. Alright, let's play it, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh man, the speakers in this thing are freaking awful.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Oh, I think it's just in the higher resolution. Because the monitor did support that.
Construction complete. New construction.
Oh great, our base is under attack. Holy crap. That is one, like, a really aggressive CPU already. Like, on easy mode. Like, what the hell. Now I'm going to attack from that side. Let's repair this one. Oh man, I can play this every single day, you know, like, I don't know what it is, but all those years that I played it or not played, doesn't even matter, like, it's so much fun, like, going back to this and just have some fun. Maybe later I'm also going to do this in network function. We have so many good games out there, but the old ones are pretty damn awesome in the end. Ooh, almost low power, 2 stripes. Ooh. Okay, so another thing I've played a lot is like not a cartoon fighter, but Mugen. I've messed around with it so much. Man, it was such a blast playing with this. Let's see where the controls are. For the people who don't know what Mugen is basically an engine where you can create your own games, or better said, like implement levels, like characters you could download from the internet back in the days. That was so much fun, and even now up to today, there was still development with this, and this is absolutely crazy. You can basically fight with Mario against Homer Simpson. You can think of it like it is basically like happening. Everything is absolutely over the top. Like, this evil Homer is absolutely crazy if you think about it. But it's so much fun again to mess around with it, to learn a little bit of programming, because that's basically what you need to do. And again, like, I spent hours and hours on this. Absolutely great to see it back. And even running on Windows 2000 with a freaking Pentium 3 laptop. Another game I didn't play a lot, but I did play it sometimes, was Roller Coaster 2. Like, graphical wise, it was not like super superior, but even now it's like so much fun to play. Let's see what something happened. I think the previous owner did clear some games. Let's see how everything loads up. Yep, everything seems to be loading up. Oh man, this is such like a very long time. So you can like delete the freaking like trees. Everything is in euro sign, kind of funny to be honest. Some of the games will not age very well. I'm not going to say this is one of them. I think like this is an absolutely great game. But take consideration like the theme park 3D, and there were some amazing theme park games like where you can build your park, write your own, I say, basically your attractions, so cool. But this was super easy. And your imagination was most of the things that basically like that needs to work. Like that is what it is. And again, like it's so much fun just to mess around with it and just build your park, your attraction, like close it and let people have some fun. Like, you know, it's so much cool to do this. When you're looking at the graphics, oh boy, oh man, it's not the greatest. But does it spoil the fun? I think not. Your imagination will do the rest, like it was with a lot of these two games back in the day. But there is one thing I just needed to do, and that is this epic pinball game. I can still remember playing it. Like, you didn't own a lot of games, but I spent so many hours, and maybe you also did this too. Let's see if I can fire it up. I did start the game, but... oh crap. Almost tilting it over here. Go. But this game was pretty damn good. And when you're looking at simulation back in the day. And then there are nowadays you do have like virtual pinball machines that basically like have like a 3D version of it now. But nothing beats this one. And again, like the animations were pretty damn good for back in the day. So believe it or not, I picked up this thing for €3 freaking. And this is, I think, one of my best things I basically bought when it comes to old school electronics. When I'm like hunting to thrift shops, I don't really search for games anymore. What I do is search for old school hardware, and this is a great example of it. I will try to collect some older hardware, including some things like mouses or gaming like peripherals from back in the day. But that's going to be like a bigger challenge. So let me know, what kind of games did you play back in the day? Did you own like a PC? Or do you still own a PC that plays these old school games? Well, thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become on the Wicked family. And it will be great to see you in another video.